you're feeling like a kid at Christmas, you've every reason to. What a year we're looking forward to. What a night we're looking forward to. Of thunderous intensity. St. Helens with first touch of the ball and a chance to clear their lines, but Warrington, as you'd expect, right in their faces. Liam Moore and Chris Kendall, referee and video referee respectively, as Clemmer takes it forward. One of 5 new faces in St. Helens 17 tonight. Warrington likewise have 5 new faces in their lineup. And this already match number 9 in 2026 of live rugby league on Sky. And there is more this year than ever before. As St. Helens on the final tackle, the final play, going to kick away from Jackson Hastings, just one of those new signings. And a catch from the youngster, Kai Taylor-Ray, who looks to bring it back rapidly. And Warrington find themselves a good 25 away from their own line.
Yeah, high energy first set, both in attack and defence, and a good first early sighter for Kai Taylor-Ray. I think Brian said he described him as electric in the build-up to this game. It's absolutely the right word to describe him.
And a penalty given away, which immediately hands Warrington an advantage here. They'll be starting their next set close, if not beyond the halfway line. Sneed with a kick.
Yeah, Shane Wright just holding on a little bit too long, and a really easy leg up, unexpected leg up for the Warrington Wolves. Toby King, first tackle here, already well inside the Saints half.
There are several new rules, new interpretations for this season, aren't there? That's one of them. We're going to see speedier plays at the ruck, which is great for the game, the speed of the game, but clubs and teams will have to get used to that in these early stages. But Warrington looking to set a platform here with Walker at dummy half. Back it comes to Sneed. Now Williams is involved. The no-look pass for Harrison. Playing in the back row, the second row, so a little wider than he's used to. Picked up by Walker again. His 150th Warrington appearance tonight. And this, the final play, will see Warrington in excellent attacking position. Sneed with the kick, looking to isolate. It's not the best of kicks, and it's going to be picked up easily by Robertson, and St. Helens will be very grateful for that. Drag, but not beyond the touchline.
Yeah, smart by Harry Robertson. Bouncing ball, loose ball. First instinct was to get back in field. Well, that's a good, really positive start by the Warrington Wolves. It couldn't be anything but, could it, with a volume of people cheering them on from the terraces. The atmosphere in here is unbelievable.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Delicious recipe here tonight for our first Friday night of delights on Sky Sports. And the penalty now goes St. Helens' way. So they both transgressed, and Saints now have a chance to build in their opponent's half.
Yeah, Sam Stone this time just too much. Couldn't clear the ruck in time, could he? He put his body in front of Nene McDonald, one of those signings that you mentioned for St. Helens. He was a real handful, more on him later.
He had a field day last week, but that was against Workington. No disrespect to Workington in the Challenge Cup, but St. Helens looked to have set their platform of play in that match. Very different opposition for them here tonight, of course. This is Clemmer, who's 40 away. Clark out of dummy half. Back to Hastings again. Switch back. Miscommunication. Misfiring pass. Ball goes to ground. And Warrington congratulate themselves on their opponent's mistake.
Yeah, Hastings is looking at Delaney, catches Delaney's arm. And the prop forward is going through on a decoy lead line, tight lead line, just a miscommunication or a misexecution from Hastings. Not the most auspicious start, is it, from the former Man of Steel, but well, they'll get plenty more reps at that, plenty more sighters of this Warrington line.
The guys were talking beforehand about coaches under pressure last night as well, talking about coaches under pressure at the start of this season. About 10 weeks before the end of last season, would you have been surprised at that point to have found Sam Burgess still in charge at Warrington here?
Well, the season did drop off alarmingly, didn't it? But I think, you know, a young coach, big name in the game, he's got to be afforded time. And what they have done, I think, is really smart, is bringing someone in with all the experience in the world. Steve McNamara, right of your picture. You know, that should give Sam an awful lot more options and another ear to bend as well.
It's all about ifs and buts, isn't it? And They weren't far away from being Challenge Cup winners, of course, last year, Warrington. Controversial late try denying them at Wembley. Walker back to Sneed. Sneed sticks it up in the air. He's got some attention from the oncoming right, but the kick is away, and that is a really good chase. And it means that St Helens have to start. King hot on their heels. St Helens having to start inside their own 10.
Yeah, good honest kick chase from Toby King, and gives Welsby absolutely nowhere to go. The Saints are working hard though to try and clear, still inside the red zone, their own red zone, but I put that down to some really good line speed and kick chase pressure from Warrington.
Delaney with the drive. Clark moving in, wants of this parish, of course. Darryl Clark wants a local hero, but now very much in the red V, as he has been for a couple of seasons. Will collect, doesn't go, puts it back to Welsby. Welsby off that left foot. That is an arrowing kick that he's got away. Real spin on that, and it flew through the air. Warrington having tracked and bring it back. Here's King. Just trying to test them here, testing the resolve down the middle, but it is not found wanting. Walker at dummy half. Offered back on the inside from Thulis, looking for the centre shape of Hopewati. Walker again, Sneed and Williams with a dummy. Tries his first burst of the new season. St Helens players in his way.
Well, they're getting to the channels really well, Warrington. Another good set. Look, they're finishing just outside their own half, but they're looking really smooth and getting to the channels. And then that next kick afterwards, next drive afterwards rather, they're making some really good meters.
That's a great kick from Sneed, wasn't it? Because world-class fullback Welsby looking to get its measure, but it landed in no man's land because of the direction. And that just loses St Helens a few yards, gives Warrington a bit of a G-up to get into their opponent's faces. It's quick at the moment. Curry taking a bit of a tumble, but he's okay. Clark again on the feet of White, and Harry Robertson given very little time, but still does well in getting that ball away, and Hastings offers it back on the inside for Clemmer to have a force. And one play to go inside their own half. Hastings' kick is important. A little bit of not me, it's you, a little bit of confusion. Josh Smith, the new signing, is the man who eventually takes hold of it, but he and Taylor Ray were having a bit of conversation there as to whose that ball was.
Well, it was Josh Smith. He got it on the second bounce. An athletic player, the winger, who's come across from Brisbane East, once upon a time a Melbourne feeder club. He's had a wow of a year last season.
A bit of a gather in again, and taken on by Hopewati, the outside backs doing a bit of the work in the early stages, as is so often the case in the modern game, as Taylor Ray will take it on another yard or two, but they've reached the last. Back it comes to Sneed. Good spin on that ball as well, and it has to be watched carefully by Welsby, who takes it in and delivers early, looking for Cross to make some motion. Hastings back again, and here comes MacDonald. It's one of the exciting things about the early season, isn't it? Looking at players, new signings. There's another set of 6 here for St Helens, wondering who might be the star of their club, who might be the star of Super League, and this fella could well be both of those for St Helens. Welsby delaying the pass and then not giving the pass, but Curry is not buying the deception. But St Helens are moving closer here. Decent position they find themselves in, with tackles in the bag. 12 away. Clark. It goes left to Hastings. A dummy from him. But 3 Warrington defenders quickly to him, and Hastings is still struggling there, still trying to enforce the issue. Still tackles in the bag. Shorrocks again. He goes on that solo route. Now it's the last. Clark, Hastings, slinging it along the line. Little ship from Welsby. The leap up there from the man who's made that a real trademark bet, but he's beaten in the air, and Warrington do superbly well. Smith again gets out of there.
Yeah, great work, wasn't it, by Josh Smith? They said he had a great season last season. He played the majority of his rugby for Easts in the centres, finds himself on the wing. That's a fantastic take. Really good take, because we all know how dangerous Carl Felt is in the air.
A penalty here for Warrington as well, so a little bit of self-congratulation going on, and a chance to clear their lines.
Yeah, this is the penalty, just a little bit too much in and around the ruck. Felt is not moving, static on top of his defender. Too much going on. Toby King complains to referee. Referee agrees.
Well, we are licking our lips in anticipation of 2026, a World Cup Challenge a week away. Vegas, the return 2 weeks from here. A showpiece occasion in Paris to look forward to. A tale of two cities in France on a regular basis. Toulouse and Catalan in Perpignan. Two new English cities represented on these shores as well in this year. And a sparkling new venue for Magic Weekend. And some wonderful rugby league to look forward to, which is being represented right here. Eventually Hopewati brings down, but Warrington are making yards, getting themselves closer. Here's Walker, back to Sneed. Williams now, he puts the kick to the corner, and Wellsby, always favourite to get there. Just a little bit of hesitation, but manages to do the job.
Yeah, really smart attacking play from the Warrington Wolves. Coast to coast in 2 tackles. And I told you about them getting to the channels. Have a look at this. 3-pass shift. And it hits Stone. He finds Kai Taylor-Ray, gets past the first, then offloads. They're making meters really, really easily. That'll be an early point of concern for Paul Rowley.
Well, it was shortish, but not short enough. Warrington have a good position back here. Hopewati back now for Stone. Stone with a big hit and a twist. Walker again. Sneed. Williams chiming in. Now it's further left again to Toby King, who reaches and will claim the try. Referee points the finger. Warrington have their first of the night and their first of the season.
It's a brilliant finish from Toby King. As we know this season, the video referee will be reviewing that in the background just to make sure. But it looked for all money like Toby King's first try of the 26th season. And again, off the back of some great attacking play from George Williams. This is the dropout. Really well taken, with conviction from Hopewati. And again, just how quickly they move the ball, how comfortable they look. That's the result of an awful lot of reps on the training field. And an early ball to your centre. Any strike centre like King, and there are no problems with that. You know, big, athletic, human being, Toby King. Give me early ball. Let me take on my opposite number. Skips to the outside. First try, first blood, Warrington Wolves. So lovely little shimmy is that. Gets on the outside really well. No double movement. Ball carried arm, not grounded. No problem.
They're still waiting for absolute confirmation. And not until then will the shot clock go on in terms of the goal kick attempt. Mark Sneed down there is I think just asking the referee what the situation is.
Yeah, take another look at it. So Toby King beats Robertson, all ends up, and look, that for me, that's absolutely 100% a try. Yeah, the try
has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed as a try. Countdown's on, and of all the kickers, I think this countdown might be an issue. Mark Sneed loved to milk this kind of situation, didn't he? Take as long as he possibly could before this new 60 seconds to take the kick rule came in, but doesn't seem to be troubling him too much. Well, that's how much it's troubling him. Right from the touchline, strokes it over. Little way for the St Helens fans, and Warrington leads 6-0.
Incidentally, Mark Sneed, with that conversion, moves just 4 points to go 4th on the Super League all-time points list. You know, we know what sharpshooter he is. No problems with that, however. That's a really positive contribution from Toby King, who's looked really lively in the opening quarter of an hour. Kick chase, big activity, offering lines for Williams. Great in defence, opening try as well.
So 15 minutes played, John, very nearly. Overall impressions?
Yeah, really impressed with Warrington, actually. I think particularly as soon as they get into the opposition half, just how quickly they can move from point to point on the field. So getting from the channels, the white scrum lines, and operating against defenders with probably different mentalities. Standoffs and back rowers defending next to one another.
Well, they're making progress again here, quick progress. Walker out of dummy half, Taylor Ray's quickly in there as well. First receiver, but that was the 5th tackle, so that'll be a standard play for him throughout the year for Warrington. Kick, easy meet for Wellsby. This is Hastings. Felt big body of his just taking in an extra yard or two.
It's a good response.
Away from Taylor. Taylor, right?
Sorry, Dave. It's a good response from Saints. Some really strong carries here.
Wellsby again. Right. They're deep inside their opponent's half with a couple of plays still to go. Sharks to Hastings, and Sailors over there again. A little delayed pass, and suddenly there's room on that left-hand side for cross, but Warrington's defence is over there, and efficiently. 1 to go. Hastings puts the kick up, spinning end over end, keeping it up in the air, dropped on in the end, and Warrington get away with it.
Yeah, well recovered from Curry. But look at that. The Warrington Wolves, 85 metres in a set. It started with Wellsby, clean catch. And what he does really well, you know, and he's done this throughout his career, his first 2 steps are always really positive. Gets on the front foot, Kyle Felt with a second carry. And they take some real meters. Now it's Warrington's turn to try and work their way out of their own 20.
There's Walker quickly out of dummy half, has support as well from the lightning Taylor Ray, who puts the foot down, and look at this, look at that, wow! It's a thunderous noise, but it was a flash of lightning on the field. Kai Taylor Ray, there's the potential, there's the reality.
And that's what potential being realised, Dave. And look at the teammates surrounding him. The entire Super League world knew that this was a gamble. But this kid has just answered any doubters. What a fantastic individual try. The pace on the line, you'll get a really good look here. Supports on the inside, into the backfield, and then he just pins his ears back. And look who he's taking on. Wellsby, one of the best defensive fullbacks in the league, taken, left for dead. This angle will show it beautifully. Fullback just tracking Walker on the inside. And that's the quick runs that we're talking about, the boys were talking about. Williams, Walker able to get out on the front foot. And then this kid, wow. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Well, he scored a couple of tries.
That's the sound of vindication.
Yeah, I knew he could do that. And he's just shown it. 3rd try of the season already for Kai Taylor Ray.
Do you know what, I remember, look, he's inexperienced, just his 10th first grade game. And he is a runner of a ball, I think. Runner first, passer second. But boy, has he got some speed. I remember watching him in 2024 at Castleford. I think he scored an absolutely cracking individual try that day. Announced himself to the Super League world. Hat full of meters as well. And it's absolutely set this stadium alight.
Well, he's a Leeds lad, but he's been at this club since he was only 14 years of age. Kai Taylor Ray, so they claim him as one as their own, especially after that. And Warrington lead by 12 points to 0. Well, good heavens, what a start.
They'll be playing this all season. Walker finds Ray. Look, just getting himself in that position is one thing. See the speed on the lad. Go on, CTW. We are going to be seeing plenty more of this kid in 2026. The boys will analyse that at half-time, and I dare say they'll point heavily to the input there of Danny Walker in the build-up. But as a fullback, you've got to get yourself in the right position. Tracking on the inside, into the clear. Boy, what a try. What an individual try.
Well, what about a change of the mood of this club already? Young fella has provided us with a memorable moment, and there could be many more to come in this game, the way it started. Williams pinned down. Walker out again. Taylor Ray looking for a bit of glory again, but it is, again, the last play before the kick from Sneed. Wellesby looking up at what kind of effort is coming his way, and decides that Kyle Felden is best suited to deal with that with his size. Hastings. The rolly ball has not quite got full roll so far, but we're looking forward to watching his side this season as that begins to develop even more as well. Here's MacDonald. Clever with a hammer and the offload. That was good. Saints looking for a response and looking wide as Cross goes skipping forward, attracting Warrington defenders his way. They've only one play left in this set. Hastings sticking it up there. The chase is on, but there's the test at the back. Bravery required, and he showed it aplenty as he's hammered to the ground.
Yeah, he was collective on impact, wasn't he, by Nenny MacDonald. Fine margins these, but referee adjudged that Kai Taylor-Ray hadn't yet reached the ground. He's probably right. Yeah, he's definitely right. First contact, and we're talking quarter of a second from Nenny MacDonald there, from that being a cracking tackle. But instead, through the boot of Mark Sneed, Warrington Wolves up around the 40-metre mark already.
Not the only game played tonight, of course. There's another game taking place at the moment. Lee Leopards are leading 4 points to 2. Innes Senior on his Super League debut for Lee. Early days in that one as well, of course. Earlier tonight, if you missed it, Catalan 26, Huddersfield 10. It finished in a very damp Perpignan. Getting an early touch. Could be a ball steal here. Has Walker got a hold of it? Yes, he has. This now is Yates. Set restarted amongst all of that as well, so Warrington have got plenty of time with ball in hand. Sneed dummies, doesn't get too far. Walker. Curry. And the last play for Warrington to try and create something here. Williams down that right-hand side with a chip to the corner, looking to isolate Dion Cross, but he's got up and pushed back, and they've got the job. They forced the drop out underneath the sticks.
Do you know what? For all the razzmatazz that we've seen, for the silky passing, the individual brilliance in the shape of Kai Taylor-Ray, it's this stuff that I think Sam Burgess and this crowd, I think, will be really, really appreciative of. The kick chase, the pressure, not allowing Dion Cross to get to the ground, just in and up around the tackle. So Thewlis and Hopoate there, they're holding up Dion Cross's weight, not allowing him to get to the floor, and they earn another set in a really inviting position.
Hastings with the drop again. They're going short, even though last time it led to a try against them. It is a gamble, and it hasn't paid off because Thewlis comes up with Warrington possession.
Yeah, well, look, I can see the reaction, and I understand it as well from Harrison. Harrison and Clemmer going nose to nose here. Clemmer's coming hard and heavy. He had the sniff of a crusher about it.
I've got the set restart, basically.
As the teams separate, it's Thewlis who once again to underline the point about Warrington and that enthusiasm. First to the ball, he got down, he was sat down, and then Clemmer's come over the top. He's come over heavy-handed as well, and James Harrison took exception to that. Referee will be receiving instructions here from the video ref.
Flops on, so I've given a set restart. So I am going to go the zero tackle there unless there's anything different. I will speak to him. Cheers, mate. Well,
the last thing they'll need is an injury to Josh Thewlis. Still missing, of course, Matty Ashton following that ACL. What is it, May last year?
I'll speak to
Not quite ready for the start of this season, but hopefully he's back before long.
Yeah, it's just that action there. He's in a vulnerable position. I mean, you know, it's not technically, that's not a crusher tackle. It has a crusher motion to it. He just folded him, hasn't he? His suitcase, Josh Thewlis, one of the toughest kids around. Yeah, awkward.
Yeah, no, I appreciate this.
And you can see why James Harrison came in to show his feelings about that one and to make objections. I'm not sure you can call that foul play just aggressive, isn't it?
Okay, 6 again. We'll zero tackle. All good. All right.
Rather than anything intentionally evil, it's just gone down as clumsy.
You've got it.
So 6 again for Warrington. It's as good as a penalty, really, isn't it?
Set restart.
It's a tap
Zero
and go.
tackle. It's a set restart.
Or a heel and go. Take your choice.
Next is one.
This is Yates. And from one look to another, Luke Littler in the crowd. World champion, of course. He's got a big smile on his face for very good reasons. As a Warrington fanatic, and his smile might be getting bigger in just a moment. As Smith even tries to cut back. There was a St Helens touch. We're back to 1 for Warrington. Laying siege on this St Helens line. Tanganoa, fresh from Hull Kingston Rovers. Walker, Sneed. There's Curry looking for the run back on at the inside, but the footing is not good. So Yates, he's clumsy. It's a knock-on, and St Helens, time to celebrate for them because they will get the ball back.
Yeah, well, celebration and relief, I think, as well, Dave, because they've been under the cosh here. 12-0, and there's one team that looks really dialed in at the moment. The ball's been knocked free by Clemmer. That goes down as a ball handling error. There's one team here who's dialed in, and that is the Warrington Wolves. Saints still finding the way a little bit. And they'll take any reprieve they can get. Sam Burgess will be extremely happy with the way his side is starting.
The Saints could be making changes soon. Some of the other games coming up this weekend, of course, and don't forget the Bench podcast every week as well. There's Robertson. There's Saylor. Felt. But Warrington are rather dominating matters at the moment, both in terms of the flow of the play and the scoreboard. St Helens, no, just one break, one try, and suddenly the game is wide open again.
Yeah, Host with his first touch in Super League. Double change made. Delaney and Clemmer. Delaney tops the tackle. 23 tackles, Delaney, in his opening stint. Really impressive.
Sure, it's helping it away to the fresh body of Alex Walmsley. But it is the last, so Hastings will send it steepling up there. All eyes to the sky, and it's Saylor who came down with hands on it. Robertson who picks up the pieces. It is still the last play, so still a sense of urgency as Hastings puts the kick for the corner, but it is too heavy for Cross to chase. Warrington get it back close to their own line.
Smart kick from Hastings, exactly the right idea. Just a little bit too much weight on it. He sees the space, sees the right side defence of the Warrington Wolves up. Yeah, just too much mustard on the kick. And as a reminder, just how good that kicking game can be, and just what a threat he possesses. Didn't get it right that time.
Upwater with the carry. 26 minutes played. It's a reminder of what's just happened in terms of comings and goings.
Yeah, big stints, big opening stints for Clemmer and Delaney. And most teams will be desperate to have a player like Alex Walmsley to start with. They get to bring him off the bench.
Missing Matty Lees, of course. That's a big miss. He got injured in that cup game last week, and it likely to be a few weeks before he returns. Takes a bit of shine off the heavy artillery. Here he comes again, and he's made the break again. Taylor Ray with a pass. Out it goes. Little search for the corner, and it is going to be another sensational try. Hopewati with the finish, but it was all about the young fullback, Kai Taylor Ray. Swiftness of foot for the first, similar for the second, but then a heck of a pass to create the try.
Well, Super League's got another speed merchant, Albert Hopewati with the try, but CTW the wheels on him. It's ridiculous. Just ducking in behind the ruck as well. Through the first line of defence into the backfield. That was the question mark I had on him. I knew he was quick. I knew he was really quick. He's got a pass on him as well. We discussed this earlier in the day. Runner first, But if you've got this in your armoury and you can get into space and give it to someone in a better position than you, then you are going to be a huge asset for your side. Albert Hopewarte, try number 3 for the Warrington Wolves. Sam likes it, Sam loves it. But Kai Taylor-Ray, take another look at him in the build-up to this, because that was special.
Well, I tell you, this crowd have been thrilled by a certain fullback at this club over the last year or so. But the question already, 28 minutes into this new season, is Matt Duft who?
Yeah. Because
they've got a new star in town. Sneed's on the clock.
Time's off. Shot clock off, time back on.
Hook from that right-hand side. It has gone wide, and it remains at 16-0.
Yeah, take a look at Kai Taylor-Ray's starting position here. He's signed behind the ruck, and then just ducks in behind into that dead space in behind the ruck. That's a really smart piece of running play. And those with pace know that there's that little soft spot. If you've got the pace to get past the initial marker defenders, there is a natural gap there in behind the ruck where you make defenders, first defenders off the ruck, often very big men, look very silly.
As he carries it back, just to make everybody of a certain age feel a little bit better. Kai Taylor-Ray is still a week or so away from his 20th birthday. Still just about 19. Curry. Here's Walker. He's in the mood. Sneed's boots call into play on the last. Wellesby underneath it, and he was in that in-goal area, so it will be a tap back on the 20. And a little bit of a slip there from the kicking point of view, because St Helens has suddenly given 7 plays to play with and a good starting position. Jenna Brooks, what have you got for us?
Yeah, evening, Dave. Just looking at the non-playing players on the bench, and behind the bench, you've got such a huge comparison, don't you? You've got the Warrington team there. I mean, they don't look so happy right there, but just when Kai Taylor-Ray made that break before, they're on their feet, they're laughing, they're joking. You've got the St Helens side who look fairly shell-shocked, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Oh, this is good hands, and suddenly Feltz travelling, but in the face of numbers of defenders. Well, this is encouraging for St Helens. It's a squeeze by Robertson. Talking about young players with flair and style. Hastings back on the inside. Shorrocks. Hastings again. Wellesby pops one over the top. Crosses. Isolated and dealt with in no uncertain terms.
Exhibit C. Warrington Wolves, the attitude they brought to their opening game this evening is first class. Toby King kick chase, opening couple of minutes. Josh Shoeless first to a bouncing ball 5 minutes ago. Josh Shoeless does not give Dion Cross an inch. Hammered into touch. Well, and look, yeah, what other reaction can you have? Plus his cheeks. He was given nothing and nowhere by that man.
So Warrington have got some work to do, and St Helens recognise this as an opportunity. A set in defence to put some pressure on their opponents. Stop them dominating things, but offloads like that from King, just releasing the catch again. Walker. King. Walker. Williams, solid from Wormsley.
Well, he's done well there. Alex Walton, he found himself out of position. Middle forward, because of the rush to the edge from Toby King the play before. He ends up third man in from a touchline. He does a really good job on Williams.
Sipley, top Sipley. Walker. Cross with a simple catch from an easy bounce and finding his way back very nearly to the 30-metre mark. Latest score from Lee, by the way, the Sports Village. Lee 10, Leeds 2. A few people reckoning this could be a very good season for Lee, and likewise for Leeds. This time of the year, it could be a great season for everyone, couldn't it? York City Knights, after their exploits last night, will be dreaming of bigger days to come as well. Hastings, the short ball. Again, they hit the last. Wellesby's in there. Hastings again wants this so he can put it across the field. Felt up, huge. Robertson lost the ball. Warrington drop on it. First knock on was St Helens. Warrington survive again.
Yeah, again, well-constructed last tackle play. It's all targeting at Kyle Felt. Weapon in the air. First touch was good. Robertson just could get clean hands on it, could he? He was under all sorts of pressure, wasn't he, from Josh Smith. And it's been a real hallmark of what we've seen over the first half hour. Just how fast our Warrington are to everything.
There is a familiarity to this scoreline. Warrington have actually beaten St Helens in the last 7 times they've played against each other. 5 in Super League, 2 in the Cup, so...
Carry.
Walker on the back of that has got room to run. Quickly closed down. I think he might be hurt, is he? Wormsley's looks a little concerned.
Again, it's just another awkward one, isn't it? Warms over the top, play on.
This is the last. Sneed again. Shorts in hot pursuit. Sneed gets the kick up. Wellesby soundly underneath it. Oh, the pass was asking a lot, and that was perhaps an expected outcome. Felt put in the face of fire.
He's took the ball really well. He's passed, but look who's on the scene as well. That's a really good read defensively. I think that's a mistake that's been forced into Kyle Felt because of the actions of Toby King. Wellesby was tracking across the field, and Toby King saw and predicted what the outcome was going to be. I think that goes down as a forced mistake, a forced error. And look what they're earning themselves. They've worked really, really hard, Warrington. I've been super impressed with what I've seen so far.
Opportunity knocks again for Warrington. Walker, who's been busy, who's been lively, and has been very effective thus far. Sneed again. Down the middle. It's taken by Joe Philbin. Walker to Williams. Just a bustling, bursting effort. King fancies this himself, loses the ball. Clark might have had a hand in there.
No advantage.
Penalty.
Offside, no advantage.
Offside against the St Helens defence.
Yeah, look again at the shape. Shape's so good. Williams to the lead line runner in Tanganoa, who just won't sailor off. Swats him away. And this is King, just doesn't, he can't ground the ball. He's under all sorts of pressure, isn't he, from Darryl Clark, but offside St Helens to go again, Wyatt.
That was a terrific effort in defence from Clark, wasn't it? But unfortunately for him, it came from an illegal position. So Warrington on tackle 1, and now with 5 to go, really do sense a chance to make this even bigger and even better. Hopewati pushing it for the corner, but the defence comes across in numbers.
Tell you what, that's a fantastic tackle. That's a cracking tackle. This thing will show it brilliantly. Dion Crotty's just absorbed all the pace and momentum of Hopewati. He's got one thought. This man cannot get the ball down. Brilliant try saver.
Well, the defence has certainly not been questioned in recent years, has it, St Helens? I think they only conceded 54 in all Super League games last year, so that goes without saying. Williams. Here's Walker. Curry to Sneed, who slides a cute one in, and that's going to be offside, surely. Yeah, offside. Cross knocked it down. Clark picks it up. Both did it out of necessity, but it has given Warrington, at the very least, another set and possibly a kick for goal.
Yeah, well, look, you won't blame Darryl Clark. I think if he doesn't pick that up, I think Warrington potentially score a try. You can't. You just got to accept the penalty there. And this defence is being examined, and Sam Burgess with a really early call. Extend this lead, please.
No captain's challenge, so St Helens
Shot clock on.
clearly admitting their culpability there.
Is it? All right, there. You get a good shot.
This for a 3-score lead with just about 90 seconds of the first half remaining. What a statement Warrington are making so far in this game. They will not rest on their laurels, given what's in that St Helens side.
Get your arms down. Get your arms down. Keep your arms down. Keep your arms down.
Shot clock.
Thank you. Shot clock off.
Little twist and turn, as he so often does. That's his style. Over it goes. 18 points to 0.
Yeah, and it's been a first half that has been completely dominated by Burgess's Primrose and Blue. St Helens, they've not been allowed to find any kind of rhythm, have they, in this game? And it's been a really, really impressive first 40 minutes. Look, this is a ridiculously long season with so many twists and turns, but this packed crowd will be really, really pleased with what we've seen. Paul Rowley, I'm sure, will have a notebook full of stuff to try and impart to his team.
Well, the guys will be analysing this at half-time, Brian, John and Sam, and we might well be looking at how many play the balls St Helens have actually had inside the Warrington 10 so far in this game. It can't be many.
Release him!
Walker scampering, trying to create havoc in the dying embers of the first half. This next one may well be the last play, and they make something of it.
Release him!
Well, they will have time for one more. And Walker is just happy to roll back out of play. The Warrington players bounce towards the halfway line. Taylor Ray has put a bounce in this Warrington crowd tonight with one super try scored and another one created. Warrington are the entertainers so far tonight, and they lead St Helens by 18 points to 0 at half-time.